welcome to another video. This week I'm going to try paint pouring. I've never done this before. So I have a canvas, some plastic cups, some plastic utensils, some paints, some Mod Podge. I also have a few extra materials, some masking tape, a utility blade, and a design that I want to cut out. So getting started, I just want to clear off a spot on my cutting mat and get my parchment paper situated. I'm just going to lay out a layer of masking tape on top of the parchment paper. And I just want enough room to be able to cut out my design. So once I have all the tape down, I'm just going to tape down my design on top of the masking tape and use the utility blade to cut out the inner part of the design. Once that's done, I just want to cut around the outside to finish cutting out the rest of the design. Once I have it cut out, I just want to pull out all the little pieces, so I'm left with just the outline of the design. And then once that's done, I'm just going to peel the masking tape off the thin strip of parchment paper that remains and tape it down onto the canvas. I'm just going to elevate my canvas over some plastic wrap with the plastic cups. And with that, I'm ready to get started with the paint pouring. So I'm just mixing equal parts paint and Mod Podge in order to create the pourable paint. I don't recommend the outdoor Mod Podge for this, but that's all I had, so I'm just going to use it. And with all my paint mixed, I'm just going to start randomly pouring the colors and see what happens. So tilting the canvas to each side in order to get the paint to the edges. So my thought process when doing this was that I would be able to pull out the masking tape from under the paint once the paint was on the canvas, but I didn't think about how thick the paint was going to be or how I would go about finding the tape once it was covered under the paint. So I did end up poking around in the paint for a little bit and then realized it might just be easier to grab a toothpick. So that's what I did, and I was able to find the tape pretty quickly, and it did come out cleaner than I thought it was going to. I wanted to go back and go through the outline of my design with some 3D fabric paint in order to make it really stand out. After having my design outlined in the 3D fabric paint, I decided I really wanted it to be gold, so I debated whether or not I was going to let it dry and then paint it, but ultimately I decided that I wanted to just finish it for today's video, and so I used gold glitter while the 3D fabric paint was still wet, and just cleaned it up with a paintbrush to get off some of the excess glitter. Overall, I thought it was fun. I think I'll do it again. But that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.